Hello and hi, how's your day been? It's a beautiful Wednesday over here, an interesting Wednesday, a day in which God like walked me through a path. But before we start the conversation, I just want to say good evening to everyone joining us. I see that a few minutes late, I had some interesting technical issues, but I discovered my talent in between. Apparently, I am tech savvy, so yeah, so we're good. So I hope that your day has been beautiful. I hope that your day has been interesting. Just in case your day did not go well, it's fine. It's just 8 o'clock. So you have 4 hours to make it beautiful. Like 4 hours can change what has happened in the year already. Today is the 27th. But between the 28th and the 31st, a lot of things can happen. So I remember, I think it was the beginning of the week where I had tweeted and I had said, don't cancel January yet. And I saw that it was, I think, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and I did the same thing. I think I did the same thing this morning or yesterday where I was saying, do not cancel the month yet. Like, it will still yield. I didn't even use the word can. I think I used the word will. It will still yield. And I'm going to walk you through what God has been talking to me about since last month. If you follow me, you will see that I have repeatedly used the word that we are the breakthrough that people are praying for. And I remember also mentioning something about your work being your worship, and all of those things. And I would walk you through that conversation that I had with God, which was last month. So whatever religion that you believe in, it is totally fine. I am a Christian and I respect who you worship and who you believe in. But I am a Christian and I worship God through the Lord Jesus, which is fine. So you are welcome on board to this conversation. I will be quoting scriptures, not to make you feel uncomfortable, but just because that is what I am used to, that is what works for me. And if you were in my shoes, you will discuss what works for you and who works for you. So that is the conversation we're having this evening. So I recognize that you may worship another flavor of God, but at the baseline, we're all related, and at the baseline, love is our anchor and who we are expected to be. So that is totally fine. So last month, yes, was it last month or maybe the earlier part of this month, I was having a conversation with God. So when I talk to God, I don't do the normal praying, fasting, and all of those things. I've done those things before. They worked when they worked. Now I have just turned my relationship with God into conversation. So I don't have a right or wrong approach with talking to God. I just know what works for me, and that's what I'm talking about. So even when I'm praying to God, it's a conversation. It's a conversation. We're actually speaking English. I'm asking him questions. I am tackling him. I am telling him about my disappointment. I am ranting, at him. Sometimes I tell him that, oh, if you are the Lord Almighty, how come this has not happened? I have prayed repeatedly, and I know that you are not stubborn. So it's not that I'm trying to change your mind. I know that you don't have a hearing problem. So I'm wondering what exactly is going on. I have stood on scriptures. I have imbibed scriptures, like what exactly is going on. So those are the conversations that I have with God. Sometimes I tell him, I am disappointed. I really don't want to talk to you, and then I see him chuckle and smile, because the truth is, I have a right to feel disappointed if I'm talking to my father and I have that kind of conversation with him. So I don't know about the regular way people pray, but I do not do that. So I have conversations with God. I worship him. Like, we talk and we gist. And when I'm flustered, when I'm scared, when I'm anxious, he's the one person that I know that can have a conversation with me and tell me what's going on. And that's where my song came from. So if you haven't listened to my song, please go to the link in bio. If you check my YouTube link, my song is there titled My Stability. And I remember that day, what had happened was, I had some time. I like to sing, I like to lead worship, but I haven't been able to do that in a while. So I decided that, I'm just going to get into a studio and just sing, and then I got this producer. He was the one who produced Ijoba. His name is Wale Adesonya. Yes, he's a pastor. and I just got into his studio and I said, I just want to make music, give me strings on the keyboard, let it look like a South African whatever, because that's how I sing, and he was like, oh, okay, so what's the lyrics? And I said, I have no lyrics. Like, I just came to worship God, sing in tongues and be fine. And he said, okay, so can you come up with lyrics? I'm like, yeah, but I'm not sure what the lyrics will be, but I will just come up. And I remember that when I was just writing, those were the words, like, you are my God, you are my Lord, you are my strength. When I'm scared, I hide in you. When I'm anxious, when I'm depressed, I call on you. Like, those, if you listen to the song, you will just see that it was a love affair in a studio. I didn't sing it to get accolades or something. I just wanted to let him know that he was, and he is, my anchor. So that's the conversation that I have with God. So fast forward to, I think, December or the earlier part of this month, he was saying to me that, are you aware that you are the breakthrough people are praying for? And the statement struck me. So it looks like I'd heard it before, or I knew, but this time around it came with some level of revelation. And he was like, every time people pray, that, are you aware that there's really nothing that I do everything through man? And I was like, yeah. And he said, yes. So when you're talking about journey messes, I use drivers and pilots to let you arrive at your destination safely. That's the definition of journey messes. My journey messes is anchored and processed through a driver or a pilot. He said, when you're praying for a successful surgery, it is through the doctors, the nurses, and the medics on duty. When you're praying for emotional stability, it is through psychotherapists and psychiatrists. When you're praying for knowledge, wisdom, it is through teachers, whether they are speaking the words or they are writing the words, whatever. He said, anything that I do through men. And I was like, yeah. And then while the conversation was going on, I remember tweeting and posting on Facebook, and a particular lady, I'm not sure I know her full name, but I tagged her on my Facebook post this night, said something to me. He said there was a time in church that my husband preached on a message called Favour is a Man. And that statement struck me again because God had been talking to me. And I remember in December, there were some of my things that God instructed me to give out, including a fridge that I was attached to because it was my first fridge in my entire life. I think I got the fridge through a gift. Yes, it was somebody who gifted me, I think in 2003 or something. Yeah. So the fridge has been with me for 18 years, a beautiful red fridge. Now, red is my best color. No, red is not my best color. There are only two colors in the world, red and others. Yeah. So the fridge has been in every office that I got into, and even my room. And God said, oh, give out the fridge. And I was like, oh, okay, to who? And he said, don't worry about that. And then I got on Twitter. A particular guy just tweeted randomly. I don't know him. He follows me now, I think. Just tweeted, and what he said was, a prayer, something that I desire this month is that I want to buy my parents a fridge. We have not had a fridge at home since 2005. And God said to me, that's the owner of that fridge. And I just tweeted at him and said, I have a fridge for you, please reach this number. And that's how we picked it up. We never met. And that's been one out of so many things that God has instructed me to do this month. Now, the lesson I just discovered in that happens to be that every time people pray, what you call answered prayers is delivered by men. Your promotion is delivered by a man. Your sack letter is delivered by a man. Your babies are delivered by human beings. Your scholarship, your appointment, your anything delivered by men. Isn't it now ironical that these are the men that we do not necessarily respect or leverage or even understand that they are gods on earth? And I'm going somewhere. This afternoon, something very funny happened to me. So I was supposed to go for pedicure. My pedicure session at Lekki was scheduled for 4 p.m. And around 2:30ish, 3 o'clock, I was looking at our account for the month at Emotion City. and every month we have a target. So I looked at it and I saw that we were not close to the target. We were just roughly about 60%, and I was quite unhappy, even though I was grateful. And I saw the 60%, and I said to myself, Lord, I am tired of not meeting my target. And there were some other words that I said to him that included, sometimes I feel that shortcuts are better, but I can never subscribe to shortcuts because I love you, and because you have thrown your weight behind my brand, that at every point in time I prioritize your feelings and your name. And I said to him, I said, sometimes I feel as a Christian that you are not prioritizing me like I should be prioritized. And I heard him say to me that, are you saying I'm not faithful to you? And I said, not at all. I am grateful for all you have done, but I need your help. That was my statement to him. I need your help. Like, if it is hard work, working smart, diligence, we do that. My team members can tell you, we do that. Our work is our worship at Emotion City. They know how committed I personally am, and all of us are, to getting things done excellently. And my final statement to him before I stepped out was, I need you to help me. I knelt down in my office. I said, I need you to help me. And the help I need from you is to mention my name where it matters. And after mentioning my name where it matters, let it be obvious that it is you, so that I will recognize your finger. And I went for my massage, my pedicure, got in at about past 4, doing whatever I'm supposed to do to my feet. And then my phone was beside me. So I just saw that the light on my phone was beeping. And then I was wondering, it wasn't ringing. So I was wondering who was beeping the phone. Like, what's going on? So I picked the phone, and what I saw was, I just saw Dr. Sam Adeyemi, and I hadn't even clicked. I just saw Dr. Sam Adeyemi. So I looked at my phone and I was wondering, why is Twitter giving me, like, showing me notification for Dr. Sam's tweet? Because I'd never seen a notification from, his tweet. So I was not wondering, that it's like Twitter now, as, like, why is Twitter showing me something? What went wrong? But yeah, that's how we roll in this country. So the first thing that came to my mind was, what's going on? And then the next thing I saw, I then read it. So when I read it, for some seconds, I was in full-blown shock. Like I was gobsmacked. I was like, what's going on here? And I had to respond to the tweet I need to establish that, number one, I have never met him. I know him. I love him. And if you're going to talk about a particular brand in Nigeria who has been consistent and who is excellent at what he does, there are not many in that category at all. Dr. Sam is on another lane, and he's in his own world. Dr. Sam is that blue ocean strategist. He creates his world. So I saw it, appreciated it, and I was still thinking. Then God said to me, he said, I thought you told me to mention your name where it matters. And I was practically in tears. And the reason for that was, it was God reminding me more than ever before that Favour is a man. We're having this conversation intentionally. I'd been talking about it in bits and pieces. But I remember one of the live shows that I had where I was saying that more than ever before in 2021, eliminate any howness on social media, how you talk, how you coordinate yourself. Because you have emotional and digital footprint. And I'm not talking about perfection. If you follow me so well, I like to play. Like, yeah, I play a lot, and it is how I keep myself sane and safe. But we all have emotional and digital footprints. We all have people who watch us. There's so many places that I've been to where I do not know how they heard about me, There was a state governor who spoke to me in December. I got a call requesting to show up somewhere for a meeting. It was just in between 9 hours. They had called me a day before in the evening and they wanted to see me in the morning. And it was the state governor's office. Initially, I thought it was scam, because these hush puppy people are just everywhere. So I just felt, hey, I don't have strength. How much do I have? I'm trying to collect now. So I requested for the person's name. I was told, then I Googled, and then I established some level of authenticity. So I showed up. And then they had asked me questions here and there. So when we finished, I asked the question. I said, I'm sorry, could you please do me a favor? Who recommended me? And they smiled and said, oh, don't worry. And I said, I would just like to say thank you to the person. I like to appreciate people who mention my name where it matters. Till today, they didn't tell me anything. And several other places, like I have been called from gates of power. And trust me, I have no idea. I remember the first day I met Mr. Leke Order. It was a while ago, and what had happened was I was ill. It was October 1st, a particular year. I was ill. I was in my office, tired. My phone rang the first time. I didn't pick it because I was really tired, and I didn't have the number. It rang the second time. I picked it up, but I couldn't hear anything. Then it rang the third time, and then I picked it, I couldn't hear. So I didn't call back because I was even ill. I was on medication, I was tired. So I laid down on the rug in my office, and then I got a text, and then the text was, oh, hi, Onyinkan. I'm quoting it now. It says, hi, Onyinkan, this is Leke Order. Please call me when you can. And of course, the entire illness left me. Call me punish sickness. I'm telling you. I don't became well. That's why I believe that more than 80% of sicknesses are emotional. I'm telling you, I just became well. Me that I was on my last bar. Like, when you receive a text that is higher than every other text, even if they will back, like, let this get prosper. I don't get well. I called back and I was like, hi, good afternoon, sir, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, oh, we had spoken, blah, blah, blah. And the next thing was, oh, I would like to meet you. Let's have a conversation. And, I was wondering that, what's going on here? And that's it. Now, I can try and look at and say, oh, probably because one of my close friends sits on his board or something, something, something. But the truth is, yes, I know that she must have some level of, maybe you mentioned my name at, yes, but I am grateful to the fact that I am aware that every time I pray, let me tell you something, ladies, for example, when we pray to get married, it's a man you will marry. When you pray to buy a house, it is through a contract or a job, a product, or a service. My conversation tonight, more than ever before, is that we all make mistakes, we all do not get it right, but 2021 should please be a year where you will prioritize human beings more than ever before. Anyhowness, that spirit of I'm fighting, I'm dragging people, I am doing this, I am doing that. I have a testimony, not a testimony, I have something that has happened before. I've shared it a couple of times. There was a particular time I made a post, and there was a guy who had jumped on the post, all these millennials who had jumped on the post, and who had come up with a series of drama that I couldn't understand, and I responded to him to say that just focus on the issue, don't bother dragging it. There's an issue on ground, focus on it. Don't bring your motivational words. There's an issue I am dealing with, discuss the issue. So instead of discussing the issue, as usual, he attacked me. And when he attacked me, I read the insult and I was like, oh, I know this guy. Like, the name was very familiar. So I typed his name on my computer because I was like, I know this guy. I know names, I know faces. That's one of my strengths. So I was like, I know this name now. So I typed it on my computer, and then there was a receipt in his name. So in year 4, he was going to drop out of school because he lost his parent. He had lost one before, so he became an orphan. Somewhere along the line, I encountered his sister, and she had told me, and I'd requested for the bill, and I paid the school fees. The guy had no idea, because I just said to the sister, I don't want my name mentioned, don't tag me on social media, just forget it. I am paying and both of us are moving on. Just thank you is fine, just move on. And then don't be greeting me part times. Yeah, don't worship me, nothing, just that's it. So of course the guy had no idea. So when he insulted me, his sister saw it, because the sister follows me. So the sister called, sent me a DM, then requested for my number, started begging me. And I said, oh, that she was going to call him to order, I paid his school fees. So I went back to the post where he dragged me. I saw a lot of English. So I was like, this was using my school fees to speak English. But of course I warned her not to tell him. I said, if you want to correct him, but don't mention my name to him. So don't let him come and apologize because I paid his school fees. Correct him for the sake of posterity, not because I paid. So what if I didn't pay? Wouldn't you correct him? So forget about me, but just let him know that he needs his home training certificate every time he needs to have a conversation. But God taught me something. Because I just felt, imagine this gentleman looking for a job, or he then needs me to refer him, and he doesn't even know me. So imagine him in my office, and I'm just looking at him. Another true life story was a particular guy that I was supposed to do business with. Somewhere along the line, we didn't share the same values, so we couldn't proceed. And then in between the conversation, he used the F word on me. I can't even remember how we arrived there. But he used the F word because it was so pained, that I wasn't going on. And I wasn't going on because it looked like we were supposed to compromise on some things, and I wasn't interested. I didn't want to have one money and I wouldn't have peace, and then later on in life somebody's publishing one receipt on one blog on the fact that the emotions doctor is not who she is, or she sleeps around, she cheats, she corrupts. I'm not interested. Like, if I wanted money, I know what I would do to make a lot of money. So I chose this path intentionally, and I've been here for 18 years. So if I wanted anything else, I know how to do it. Like, I am pretty, I speak pretty well, I have sense, and I'm fine. How many people can cut hair like this and still have this level of beauty? Yeah. So, and it was fine, and I just said, we don't share similar values. I think that we should just move on. And I was very upset. So fast forward to a couple of days after, I was somewhere where they had invited me to come and help them pick a contractor. So they had invited different companies, organizations to come and pitch, and I was supposed to be on the panel and then to just pick the final person. I am one of their consultants, and then I had no idea who were pitching. I just drove down, sat and all that, and then people started coming in to pitch and were noting down, just like judges. And then this guy who had used the F word on me a few days ago just showed up. And as he showed up, I just smiled. I was just like, wow. God, you don't even waste time again. It's like all of us, you are not giving us our report card straight up, like no time. You don't want everyone to be full of report cards. Just collect it. Let's destroy the whatever. So of course, immediately he saw me, he became flustered. He was just gone. He started stammering, blah blah blah. Because he started stammering and he couldn't concentrate, his speech wasn't good. So he couldn't present, he couldn't bring the highest level of himself and his A game. So he didn't get it. The presentation or whatever was worth 15 million. I know him, I know his potential. He could have gotten it if I wasn't there. He is that good. But the moment he saw me, and I looked at it, I said, the word fuck you costed him 15 million. He lost the capacity to disagree without disengaging. He didn't understand what it was to attack issues and not people. If you follow me and you are used to insulting, one thing I know how to do is to block you. I won't even have a conversation. And I'm not blocking you because I got angry. I'm blocking you because I think I have a right to fumigate my space. So I can't be dragging things with you. Like how? And you have a right to malfunction, quite truthfully. You have a right to be a nuisance. You have a right to malfunction. I've been there before. And I'm sure people also maybe blocked me or they didn't even send me. Yeah. So you have a right to do anything you want to do. But you don't have a right to do anything you want to do on my wall. Yeah. So I have that right. The final say, you know the way we dance in church. Who was the final say? Jehovah, JJ. Yeah. So on my wall, I have the final say. You can malfunction, you can manifest, you can be a Malian, but you can't do that on my wall. On my wall, there's something called decorum. There are human beings on my wall. I don't mind you disagreeing, because in the first place, I'm not even sure why you are disagreeing, because I didn't call you into agreement. Just share your opinion without any drama. Oh, I have a different opinion. Just drop it and go. That you are disagreeing looks like in your mind, you've already told yourself that what you want to say that you have not said is better than what has been said. Because when people say, I disagree, it's like, oh, even though you have not even said anything, what you are about to say, you are so convinced that is better than what has been said. Are you aware two people can be right? 6 and 9, it depends on the angle you are looking at it from. Two people can be right. 3 and S, it depends on the angle you are viewing it from. So when people are dragging, you'll be okay. You have not eaten, that's why. So, 2021, relationships are very key. If you show up on my YouTube, there was a particular course that I used to sell, but it's now free on my YouTube, which is on relationships. I can't remember the exact title, but if you look at it, you'll see relationships. I spoke about 4 stakeholders of relationships. I think we should. And I'm saying this from a perspective where I have made a lot of mistakes. I'm reducing my risk and my mistakes. I am not even where I want to be yet. So this is not from a heart of perfection. This is not from a heart of somebody who gets it 100% of the time. This is from a heart of somebody who oscillates between 75 and 80. Somebody who is human enough to make mistakes, but take responsibility for her mistakes. Somebody who sometimes does not feel like taking responsibility for her mistakes, but because she knows the truth, accepts it and then decides to. So if you are watching me, from your family members to your friends, and I know we all have family members who are powerful. We all have Donald Trump. Some of us even have like 10 in a generation. It's okay, and then at work, it's okay also. I pretty have enemies and I'm used to them. I don't have to do anything to make them unhappy. They're just like generally, and they will be fine. From neighbors to everybody. Can we learn to be at peace with people? Can we learn to have conversations? I had a simple prayer this afternoon, which was, God, help me. In the help, please mention my name where it matters. And when you do, please let me know. If anybody had told me that Dr. Sam Adeyemi was going to be the breakthrough that I was praying for, I would not have believed it. I have never met him. I don't attend Daystar. So it is not tied to membership. It is not tied to tithe and offering. I've never even dropped money there before. If I've ever, it will be maybe when I went for DLA and maybe they collected offering. I can't even remember if they did. So if my one dime has ever been at Daystar, it will be when I entered unconsciously for something. Consciously, I don't think so. My response to his tweet was, I never knew you knew I existed. If God can use strangers, how much more he can use anybody. So one of the things that we need to do part-time is to audit our relationships. Because I see us pray every time, we scream, I receive. Our meanness, our unkindness, our wickedness. In the month of January alone, I have helped 2 people raise money and I've never met them. There was one I had to post, it was on kidney. There were 2 people I had to block because I remember the day I posted it, they came up with somebody said, but he's had this kidney issue for over 10 years now. What did he say? He's had this kidney issue for over 10 years now. It's old news. And I didn't answer, I just blocked the person. I just felt, nah, I'm not sure how you got here, but now that I've discovered you, nah, you don't deserve to be here. And I'm not upset, but I do not want that level of negativity, like unkindness. No, how? I've never even met him, but I know what it is to have a headache. I know what it is to have body pains. I have no idea what it is to have kidney issues. Imagine a human being who has kidney issues, both kidneys. It is the same way people who have contracted COVID have been telling us that they don't even want their enemies to have it. So if you are listening to me today, please be more intentional about everything you do at work. Let your work be your worship. I probably would think that Dr. Sam would have maybe Googled me or something, I don't know, but I doubt that he will throw his weight behind me just like that. Dr. Sam is an epitome of excellence. Number 2, the tweet mentioned only my name. It wasn't the fact that it mentioned my handle and others. You would have thought that he tweeted for me. I'm telling you. And I just sat down and I said, wow, there is a God that rules in the affairs of men. You are the breakthrough people are praying for. When people hand over something to you at your job, I don't want to know how much you earn. Let your work be your worship. I have volunteered somewhere for 17 years and I know the pain beyond the pleasure that I got. I know the pain that I got there. I wasn't paid a dime. And I volunteered like my life depended on it, because it was not so much about the accolade and the recognition. It was so much about me being able and the ability to tell God that you owe me. When I pray, I have those conversations with God. When He tells me to do things and I do them. 2 days ago, was it 2 days ago? No, yesterday. God said to me, He said, I want you to give your car out. I have just one car. And I said, oh, okay. And He said, this is the person I want you to give it to. And I said, oh, okay, really? Are you serious? It's not as if, wow. And He said, but before you do, I would give you that car that you asked me for. And I smiled. I am waiting for the car I asked Him for. Once the car lands, I don't know how it will land though, but God knows it's not touching my money. Me and Him, we don't do that on a rough play. No, I don't like that on a rough play. You know, those rough plays that will make you eating my plantain and snail. No, I don't like it. So I know that the rough play is not tied to my bank account. Wherever the car is coming from, I am willing to receive, as long as it is from His throne. Yes, but I don't know what the person He said to me to give my car to. I don't know his prayer points. I am in shock that He wants me to give the person, because I met the person 11 months ago. But He mentioned his name to me. I can't wait to give him the car. Interestingly, I just changed my battery and bought brand new tires over the weekend. I don't know when my car will come, but less than 1 hour after, his car will leave my compound. I doubt that the person is aware that God has answered his prayer already. You know, sometimes when we pray, we don't know that God answers immediately. We think that we have to keep praying, as if He's very stubborn. Before He responds. I don't think so. I think that He responds immediately. It may, however, take a while for the execution and the result. So, for example, this guy that he said I should, is a 27 or 26-year-old guy that he said I should give my car to. In his mind, he's not aware that I am with his car. But because the instruction is to release the car when my car shows up, I don't know when my car is showing up. He will continue to pray, probably begin to thank God, but he has no idea that his car is in my parking spot with his name on it. So there's a blessing of yours with your name on it. It's in somebody's hand, however, but something has to unlock it. What is that thing? I'm not sure if I know everything, but the part that I'm aware of is that you cannot be a nuisance. You cannot malfunction. The Bible says that the boy Jesus grew in wisdom and in favor. The irony for me was when I was checking another version, it was like, and Jesus increased. No, Jesus kept increasing in wisdom and in favor. And I think kept increasing is in continuous present. For people who study English, is that what it is? I think so. You know, when they say kept increasing, I'm going for future by year. Continuous present. So if Jesus kept increasing. That means that we have a responsibility to keep increasing in wisdom and favor. You can't be increasing in any illness, nuisance. You just talk any and say, when I'm angry, I give you a piece of my mind. Oh, you will be broke. Oh. Come, I've been broke before. I used to be a nuisance. Do you understand? So when I teach emotional intelligence, it is from my soul because it changed my life. I didn't get into emotional intelligence for money. How much will Nigerians even pay for a course? People who are always looking for freebies. Do you have free scholarships? Somebody sent a message today that Dr. Sam said I listen, that she wants to talk to me. I said, I have rent to pay, salaries to pay, overhead, tax. So yes, I listen for a fee. No part of his tweet said that I listen for free. My office is at Osborne Forshaw Ikoyi. Osborne Forshaw is for spirits. Human beings don't stay there. The moment you pass like this, they think that it's you and polio van. In fact, I have to tell them at my age, I say, hey, please, it's like if we need to remove my name from this estate list, people are beginning to think that me and this G-Wago owners. But that's what it is. You know, there must be an expiry date for malfunctioning and being a nuisance. I have been there before, and I beg people. When I'm teaching there at emotional intelligence, I'm dragging, I have one ego, and somebody says something, I want to tear my scarf, I want to say tear something, but now that people like those are mentioning my name, I have to act like I have plenty sense. Yeah. No, I'm just fighting up and down. At 40, you are still breaking bottles, burning houses, you are still screaming at the top of your voice. Do you know the meaning of high blood pressure? Do you know the meaning of hypertension? At 40 now, in your heart of heart, how many years do you think you have left? Or at 50, in your mind now, you think that you and God are dragging eternal, omnipotent, omnipresent, everything. So you will shock yourself. When you are 60 and alone, that's when your eye will pop. All the people you were supposed to disagree with peacefully, be assertive and not aggressive, you have fought them. You are now saying, you are now becoming a philosopher. I said, let us help ourselves now. Let's have an association of expired nuisance. I'm retired nuisance. Let's form an association. You know, I'm your HOD. Let's form an association. We have repented. All things are passed away. Even now, my tweet now needs to be sounding like Dr. Inconsola Alabi. Glory. Because the next one is Joe Biden. That's the next endorsement now, White House. So if you are following me now, Professor O is on duty. All things are passed away. All those ones that will be dragging, no, I'm now born again, like very born again, because the people watching me now have increased. I can't go to mistreat. They will go and tag Dr. Sam and every other person. Sir, come and see the girl. And I need to preserve their name. Anytime Mr. Order tags me also, I need to preserve their sanity. You know, so right now, from tomorrow, when you want to greet me, it's Pro or Prof or Duchess of EQ. But I hope this was interesting. I just wanted us to have a conversation. Favour is a man. All the prayers you pray, a human being will deliver it. When a man is praying for children, it's his wife that will deliver it if he's married. When you are praying for money, it is either through a project, a service, something. Somebody must call someone, a message must drop, an email, somebody must do the connection, somebody must be involved. God does not give money, he gives people. I am begging in the name of God. If I knew all of this, my life would have been better. And I'm speaking from the depth of my heart as somebody who has been painful, but we are still here. So if you are young, or less than 37, you are manifesting anyhow, you know, your mother-in-law, you are removing, I just hope that you will not pay with a lot of things. People have shown up for interviews, they've dragged the interviewer on social media. People have shown up in their in-laws' houses, they've dragged their in-laws. Calm down. Not every time bloodshed or violence. Calm down. So I hope this was interesting to you and for you. This is the lesson that I'm still learning with God. It took less than 3 hours for God to answer my prayer. The tweet, it's more than a tweet. It is the fact that God showed up to remind me about the fact that I am the breakthrough people are praying for. I doubt Dr. Sam had an idea that I made a prayer this afternoon and I was asking God. If you followed me, you would have seen where I was saying, don't cancel 2020 yet. Because don't even cancel January yet. Don't cancel it. I wrote an article that I wanted to post this night, but I will post it tomorrow, and it's on Funke Akindele. I sat down and I analyzed her. Tomorrow morning before 9, I will post it. Funke is one of my highlights in January. Funke has gone through tunnels, but at every point in time, she has 49 lives. I don't know how she does it, but she inspires me. I have also never met her. I went to watch her movie. I went with a friend, and I watch Nigerian movies, just to encourage them. And I think that, if I drop 10K, 20,000, you just add to whatever blockbuster they created. So I just do that, and I intentionally like to bless people. I don't expect or fold my arms to be blessed. I intentionally do. I look at what I have in my house and I ask, do I really need this thing? God, who owns it? Who owns this? Who owns this? Who owns that? My car already is obviously not mine anymore, but I'm just waiting for the new car. The person that is supposed to deliver the new car should just bring it, as I'm not even, don't give yourself brain. But I just see the hand of God everywhere. 2021, please stay close to God. Please, I know you have strategies, I know you have plans, I know you have vision boards. Please stay close to God. The Holy Spirit is my anchor, and I talk about Him a lot in my audio products. If you don't have them yet, I don't know why. Because all of my audio products together with delivery is just 20,000. Some people would rather say, oh, you inspire me, and just keep waiting. If it works for you, anything. But that's it. And then something interesting is happening on Friday. My Mother Money workshop. I love that workshop. Oh, it's one of the best workshops because I have intimate conversations with just 20 executives, and it's about how to move from unhappiness to happiness, dissatisfaction to satisfaction, meaninglessness to meaning. It's just $70, 30,000, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's recorded, so beyond the class, you can listen to it repeatedly till you're tired of hearing my sweet voice. I hope this has been interesting. So let's see. So my guy says don't even cancel today yet. It's done. I believe it in Jesus' name. Thank you to everybody who has shown up. While you are here, please remember you are somebody's breakthrough. When God sends you to people, please heed the call. There's some crazy things God has told me to do, crazy things, but I just do them, and I do them without anything beyond thank you. I don't have an agenda, nothing. I just do and I move on. And the reason for that is that if I do not obey God to establish somebody else's miracle, what am I living for? Life is beyond take. Like, let your life be deeper than breakfast, lunch, dinner, rent, fuel, light, all those survival things. Just having a roof under your head is fine. Let life be deeper than that. I've been having series of conversations for the past 10 days on Instagram. I've spoken about 6 times or so. I don't even know why, because this is me, my normal self, pretty shy. It's only when I'm on stage that I just do my thing. Normally introverted, in my space, in my office, in my house, whatever. I just hide. But I'll be coming here to talk for free. If you see my rate card, you will know why this talking for free is a lot of money. My rate card is for 1% of Nigerians, and that's it. And I am overbooked, so it's not that it's expensive. No, Ferraris are for some set of people. I don't have a Lamborghini, and it's not paying me. I don't fly first class, and I'm not bothered. They didn't schedule it. Don't worry, I've done business. That's the next level, and I've never flown private jet. So even if you see me inside, just be sure that it's so it's not, and I can't be feeling bad. Maybe I'll fly tomorrow morning. I have no idea, because God is just very romantic. But it's been my pleasure having this conversation with you. I hope that it's been your pleasure listening to me. I hope it wasn't worth your time. If it was, I'm so sorry. yeah, I'm just so sorry. But if it was not worth your time, thank you so much. If it was worth your time, yeah, thank you so much for listening. My song is on my YouTube link, my Stability. It's in my link in bio. I'm not an opera singer or Project Fame. I just like to worship. So I think that it will bless you. Thank you. Do have a beautiful, beautiful evening. You are the breakthrough somebody is praying for. Enjoy. I'm fine, Sha.